Peter Griffin should probably be in prison for the mistreatment of his daughter. He kicks her out of the house, throws things at her, farts in her face, baked her in an oven, sold her to the Goldman family, and shot her. But I think this treatment of Meg is a little deeper than comic effect. Unpopular opinion, I think Peter really loves Meg. He is only terrible to her because he sees himself in her and does not want her to turn out like him. He sees her potential to be more. He truly believes that she needs what he considers to be tough love in order for her to be better than he is. We often see his hate slip and his true love for her come out when he's forced to show her his true feelings, like in the episode when he stood up for her with her bullies, and the one time he was going to say, "I love you," in Hell Comes to Quahog. But in episodes like Road to Rupert, I think we get to really see their true dynamic. When she's driving Peter around after losing his license, at first, he is his normal bully self, but then she beats up another driver, and everything changes. They wreak havoc around Quahog, but most of all, they genuinely enjoy each other's company. I think this is because he saw a trait in her that he didn't have in himself, something that distinguished her from him, further showing him that his ill treatment might be working. That trait is her strength. In one of their Thanksgiving episodes where Peter's sister Karen visits, Peter moans about having his sister over because of the way she treats him. During dinner, she embarrasses him further with stories about when they were younger and takes over his traditions. Then during a family football game, she knocks him almost senseless and pulls her signature wrestling move on him. Meg starts to then see Karen for the bully that she is and confronts Peter, encouraging him to do something about it. He resists because he was afraid of what she could do to him, but he eventually confronts her in his disguise and calls her out, getting an invitation to fight her. She immediately begins to beat him, but when he blurts out her name, she is aware of who it is, and they continue their match. But when Karen gets upset after Peter manages to strike some blows, she nearly breaks Peter's arms until Meg intervenes and flattens her with a chair. Meg then reveals herself to Peter and tells him that she will always stand up for him. Speaking of abusive relationships, not only did he have a messed up relationship with his sister, his relationship with his stepdad wasn't any better. He was treated terribly as a child by Francis. Francis was always rude to him and insulted him. I think these relationships truly left a mark on him, and it's the reason he treats Meg so badly. These two people in his life who were supposed to love him bullied him, and maybe this is how he expresses his love, since it is the only way he knows how. I think that's why all the moments they share that's heartfelt where they bond, and he shows her that he loves and cares for her are so fleeting and only lasts for a short time. He genuinely cares for her and wants her to be better, and chooses bullying to do so because that's what he knows. In the episode mentioned earlier, Road to Rupert, Peter later sits with Meg and tells her she's a wonderful daughter. Even though he'll still pick on her, he tells her they are secretly best friends. After throwing lemonade in her face, he says he has to continue to treat her badly in public in order to maintain his reputation. But I think it's more than that. I think in his head, he is protecting her from potentially becoming the female version of himself. Funny enough, I think this notion is reinforced in a fan-favorite episode where Meg roasts the entire family, finally standing up for herself, particularly when she confronts and goes in on Peter. I think that's why he was confused as to why he wasn't being complimented. When she is about to tell him off, he goes, "I see where this is going," as though he was expecting her to thank him or something. It almost seemed like in his head he's thinking, "Wow, after all that I have done to ensure you turn out better than me, this is the thanks I get." Almost like he was expecting her to say, "I know why you treat me the way you do. It's your own messed up way of preventing me from ending up like you." They want her to do better, to be better. There is an episode called Model Misbehavior, when Lois starts a modeling career. Meg claims that she will pleasure herself to Lois's pictures, and even though Chris said the exact same thing, Peter only snaps at Meg and forces her out of the house. Then there is an episode where Meg goes to college, and Peter and Lois are proclaiming loudly how proud they are of Meg for getting into college. When Chris asks if he'll go to college as well, Peter and Lois's tone changes. He truly wants more for Meg and is feeding her potential in his way. I mean, he isn't the sharpest tool in the toolbox, so maybe this is logical in his head. Peter does protect her when it counts. He once tried to seduce Luke Perry in order to protect Meg from a libel suit, going so far as to state he would take a bullet for Meg in the story on page 1. And in a recent episode where she gets pregnant, he threatens the father with a gun defending her honor. I think that is also why a common question among the show's fan base is, when did all the hate towards Meg start and what was the reason? In old episodes, it was not nearly as bad. If you remember, I'm pretty sure the earliest moment where she's bullied by her family would be either the Flag Girl episodes or when Meg says she is going to eat a whole jar of peanuts, to which Peter and Lois respond with quiet confusion and Meg claims they don't know anything about her. Peter then responds, "Who was that guy?" Perhaps he began to see more of himself in her, and his desire to save her from that appeared in the form of bullying. I think this theory is further proven in some of the ways they choose to bully Meg. They often tease her about her looks, but she basically looks like her mother, who's more or less considered one of the hottest women in Quahog. Meg is just a little shorter with brown hair. She is literally a perfect combo of both her parents, so why would her looks be a factor? But I guess we all know the truth of the matter that Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, created her with zero female perspectives. None of the writers knew how to write a teenage girl character, so they just made her a punching bag instead. But all in all, she is relatable and deserving of sympathy from everyone who has ever experienced feelings of alienation or unfair treatment. Meg doesn't fit in as a teenager because she is the most normal out of all her family members. Because they don't know what to say or share anything in common with her, the other characters most likely avoid talking to her and treat her badly. But I think they might just be taking their cue from Peter. Please don't kill me in the comments. This is just another perspective. Quick announcement. If you like my content, I have started a membership, and at just $4.99 a month, you'll gain access to more exclusive content, and as a member, you'll unlock different membership perks. The link is in the description box below if you are interested. I would really appreciate the additional support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think of Peter and Meg's father-daughter relationship. Thanks for watching.